pieces of the collector, this problem arose as also these plain pieces came on the market. They were offered as original pieces, despite the fact that the real original models staying in museum were conferred only once. Facts that in several cases had been published even in elder reference books. Exactly these pieces, due to their high manufacturing quality, in recent times created several hard disputes about their originality. Esteemed audience, I've tried to present you here an overview on German-inspired fakes and copies of insignia of orders of chivalry, and to give you the information possible right now. I think also this is an excellent place to initiate with my contribution a long-awaited discussion. Only the exchange of information, especially with the museums who own huge treasures of original and historical pieces, and the increasing use of the more and more refined methods of technical analysis can assist us in the fight against the still very strong market of fakes. Coming near to the end of my lecture, I would like to present to you at least some advice on how you should act buying insignia of orders and chivalry, decorations, and medals. If you would like to buy an object you want to have for your collection, please never forget the following 10 general and special advices. I would like to call them the 10 commandments for collectors for insignia of orders of chivalry, decorations, and medals. But please kindly note that I am not Moses. Point 1. It is your own free and alone decision to buy a certain piece. It is, hopefully, your own money you want to spend for it. This zone is common, but is important for the comments to follow. Point 2. Try to combat your greed to absolutely possess a certain piece. You do not necessarily have to have anything. The only things you really must do in your life is to breathe, to drink, to eat, and to sleep for staying alive. Point 3. Do not trust in so-called occasions and special prices. Today, in time of internet and over-information, everyone has the possibility to inform themselves about real market prices. And no one, believe me, no one, really no one, has to give money he could spend. Point 4. If you, some like, have belly feelings towards a certain object you intend to buy, just do not buy it. You will never, and I repeat it, never be completely satisfied with it. Follow your own first impression, which at the end is always the best one for yourself. Do never let you convince by arguments to buy something, nor from the seller, nor from your colleagues, nor from anyone else, nor for me. This does absolutely not mean that you should not discuss a piece that you have bought or that you intend to buy. But the final decision to buy it or not is up to you. After having heard the various arguments and after having evaluated them. Because if something something goes wrong, probably no one will help you to get your money back. Do reserve for you the right in written form on the invoice at the best for giving back the piece to the seller if you are not fully satisfied, not only within 2 weeks, but for a longer period. A serious seller would always confirm this in written form or in a group. Künkers, for example, according to their auction conditions, is granting a lifelong guarantee on all pieces in auctions and in e-life auctions, if not otherwise stated in the individual descriptions. And so do I on my own website. Lifelong means also after 35 years, if it is the same piece. It happened also that sometimes someone tried, and this is not the same piece. Look, he was then excluded because also we do not want to be tricked out. And please do not try, as it happens a lot in Germany, to sell such pieces you may have bought to other collectors because you may be afraid of the seller, because he is crying loud, making problems. This makes the problem even bigger than, as a matter of fact, offering such a piece, knowing or even supposing that there might be some problems and not telling about it makes you committing the same fraud also in the juridical sense as did the original seller who sold it to you. Before buying a piece, you should carefully examine it with your magnifying glasses that you should always have and should always be with you. Trust is good, but own control is better. Point 7. Insignia of orders of chivalry, decorations and medals are belonging to the official symbols of a state and its sovereign, just like the coat of arms, the flag and the money. Therefore, in earlier times, in some few countries until present time, they were and sometimes still are manufactured and the highest possible quality. And this was harshly controlled. I repeat, harshly controlled by the state officials. They were personal grants of the sovereign, and bad work could be interpreted as an offense by His Majesty, offense against him. The original high manufacturing quality cannot be impaired by later traces of wear. The original producing quality remains even the piece is heavily damaged. Insignia of orders of chivalry, decorations and medals in more than 90% of all cases can definitively not be made of cast metal. They, or most of their parts, have to be minted. This affects, I said before, more than 90% of the objects in question. Only pieces of the beginning 19th century of very small German states may have been produced in cast metal, and of course the centers of the Iron Crosses. As well as some complicated ciphers of centers of insignia of orders of chivalry, as such as of the Oldenburg Order of Friedrich Ludwig, as well as some very, very few medals of small German states, such as the Medal of Merit of the Lippe Order of Bertha, On the left, a piece definitively cast, made by Godet. On the right, a piece definitively cast, made by Zimmermann, both of a number below 10. All these pieces and parts may have a typical cast surface with enlarged, show a so-called moon surface with small craters. But due to the fact that their molds have directly been worked out like minting dies, the letters and illustrations are looking quite clear, and their edges are quite sharp, especially in the corners towards the basic round. And after casting, they were carefully overworked, polished, and the casting fins have been taken away. Cast fakes, on the other hand, are mostly produced with molds made by imprints or molding of original pieces. And therefore, the letters and illustrations of the results may have round corners towards the basic round, and their surface may be rounded, this giving them as what we call a wishy-washy appearance. The enamels of old pieces, especially of the German pieces until 1918, after the burning, have been carefully sanded and polished in order to give them a regular, smooth, and brilliant surface, especially on the transition from the enamel to the metal frame, regardless whether a basic metal is gold or silver. You can just, if you look at it, play it, you would see the surrounding of the animals. You can easily observe that on the quite common normal crossfoot class of the 5th model of the Prussian Order of the Red Eagle. Just take the piece and how I showed it now and hold it against light, as I do it now. If you see waves in the animal or deep animal holes within the interior of the letters of the center ring, just forget it. Never forget that collecting insignia of orders of chivalry, decorations and medals is your hobby, which principally should give you pleasure and joy, and which shouldn't cause trouble for you. This all sounds very reasonable and logical, but through my years-long experience in this matter, I was forced to learn that many collectors do not consider this logical and quite reasonable advice. At the end, let me add something very important. I always try, it's been years, to do my very, very best in my descriptions of the auctions. But I am absolutely not free from mistakes, and I am continuously learning and taking up new facts in contact with collectors and experts in their subjects. I make mistakes as well as we all do. I am not infallible, I am not the infallible Pope, is he? On the orders and medals. The improvement of my knowledge is basing on you, on all the collectors. You folks, I'm now at the end of my lecture. I admit that it was a little bit longer as I intended, and I hope that I didn't annoy you like a priest with a boring sermon in church. But this subject is highly complex, and there was really a lot to be said about it. If the board of the Order Medal Society of America will agree, this entire lecture will be published with illustrations that you saw here on their homepage as a PDF for loading down, as well as the so-called 10 commandments for collectors of insignia, orders of chivalry, decorations, and medals. Dear folks, I thank you very much